This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Forest River Salem, model number 29VBUD. Okay, that's 29V Bud. And this is not a floor plan or a sales video. This is a how-to video, so I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? Alrighty. So, you have scissor type stabilizers on here. But you also have an attachment called a strong arm. That's the yellow piece you see right there. What you have to remember is this T-handle there, you have to loosen it when you're raising and lowering this scissor jacks. When you get them in the right position and you're stabilized how you want it, then you'll tighten that up so the inner tube can't slide in the outer one. And it takes away the forward and rear movement. So it gives you just a more stable platform. So keep in mind, before you bring it back up, you're going to loosen that T-handle and then bring it up, okay? There's one of those on each corner. Okay, so let me see here. This is your water heater. The switches to control it are inside, but I want you to see that this is where it's drained at right here. That should be an 1 1/16" 6-point socket to get that off, and a 6-inch extension and a breaker of some sort. But that's where you'll drain it from. So if you're going to drain it, that's where you do it. Also, please keep in mind that you never run this without water in the tank. The tank I'm talking about is the water heater tank, which is connected to the back of this device right here. So always make sure there's water before you turn it on, so you don't damage it. Okay? Yeah. Alrighty. I'll show you the switches to operate it when we get inside. You have a power awning with LED strip. Now this right here is the vent for the range hood. So if you look up there, you can maybe see it. It's kind of dark in there, but there's a baffle. You want to flip it with your thumb so the baffle flaps freely if you're venting to the outside. Yeah, it is. Otherwise you can keep it shut when you travel or when you're in storage. But if you're venting, you want that baffle to flap freely. Okay. You have a TV signal out plus power. Speakers. This is a duct for or a port for a sprayer, which comes with it. It's probably in here, actually. Let me see here. Well, I guess not, but it's here somewhere, so we'll track it down. Also, this is the fill for the fresh water tank. Now, the most common way to get water to the trailer is through the city water hookup. But if you're camping at a campground that doesn't have plumbing on the campsites, well then you're going to need to fill this fresh water tank and then use the onboard pump to pump it. So you'd fill that right there. If you have city water, you don't have to worry about this at all. But that's just a way to do some rustic camping and still have plumbing. Okay? The refrigerator is just an AC refrigerator, like a dorm refrigerator. Runs on AC. This griddle has to be plugged in. So you see, let me look. Back here, that's a male. This female clips right onto it. And then you plug it in under here. There's another quick connect fitting right there, if you can see it. And that's where the other end of the hose would plug in. So before you use this, you have to plug it in. Plug in the gas, I should say. Okay? You have alright, so this is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. This is your sprayer that I was telling you about. For that goes in the spray port. There might even be another port on the other side. We'll keep our eyes open for it. Now this 3/4 inch drill attachment is to operate your stabilizer jacks. This small crank right here is for the power tongue jack. If it happens to fail, you can crank it manually with that crank. So you can see a power tongue jack, it has the light and up and down. Well, if it ever fails, you can pull this plug out of the top, put that crank on there and crank it manually. So you can always get a hitch and unhitched no matter what. And the other thing you saw there has to do with bringing the awning in. If you have issues with it, you kind of have to read the directions, or better yet, watch the video while you're doing that if you ever need to do it, okay? Alright. So, power tongue jack, you have 2 LP tanks, which are full. Deep cycle marine battery, and this is the kill switch for it. If you ever want to shut it off, you do it right there. Okay. These are your dump valves here. You got your black valve here, which is toilet water and waste, and then the two gray tank valves, sink and shower water. Generally you dump the black first, then you dump the gray ones, so the gray water is cleaner water than the black water, and it'll kind of flush it out. Okay. Let me go down here a little bit. Okay, so after you dump your black tank, you can hook the hose at the dump station right onto here. You leave the black tank valve open. You turn the water on, it'll spray the inside of your black tank out. It'll clean off the sensors and just do a good job cleaning it out, okay? This is your city water hookup that we talked about. If you have that, you don't have to worry about the fresh water tank or the pump or anything. You just hook it up and you're all set. You have a 30 amp system with a 30 amp cord. And we give you a reducer to reduce it down to a 20 amp system, so you can always plug it in at home if you need to, if you need to pack it or something. You can turn the lights on, that sort of thing. Cable and satellite through. This is pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can see it right there. If you ever want to add one, that's where it would go. While we're looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect your roof every 90 days. So basically, you're going to look at the sealant up there. It's got a lap sealant up there, and you want to look for cracking or separation, any way water can get in. Also look at the roofing attachments and the roofing material. Make sure they weren't damaged by low branches or road debris flipping up there. You're just protecting your investment. So if you do inspect it on a regular basis, odds are you won't have to do anything for years. But that's why you're up there, just to make sure that nothing's happened that you don't know about. And if you do that, this trailer will be bone dry and in good shape forever. You got to inspect that roof though. Okay. Okay. So here's your panel. First of all, this is a dimmer. You just sort of rub your thumb over it there. Your water heater, to light your water heater on electric, you're going to flip that. Remember I said always make sure there's water in the tank. To light your water heater on gas, you use this one here. Okay. Your water pump is here. So remember, you use the water pump to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. Also is used to winterize the trailer. You have your slide room in and out, your awning in and out. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, always roll it in. Batteries charged. Fresh water's got a third in there because we're prepping. Black is empty, both gray tanks are empty. Okay? Okay, so this way, your sound bar has FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or tablet, obviously. It has a USB port, so you can stream off, like say put all your albums on one USB stick and take them with you. This HDMI here is an in, so if you need to go into the system like with a Blu-ray player or something like that, you can go in there. It also has two speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. Okay. Your fireplace is right like that. See, so you can do different things with it. That is, let's see it this way. That's low, high, and those are the fan speed and the temperature. So you can select low, high, and off for the fan. It's got a timer on it, so you can set the timer to turn it on or off when you want it to. Also, you can change the appearance of the flame too. So it does all that. It's a good space heater. On those days where you don't need the furnace to run, you don't have to use your limited supply of LP. You can just use that. It runs on electricity, and you can just take the chill out with that. Okay, let me look around here. Make sure I didn't forget anything. So just let me look here. Okay. Okay, so this is your microwave. Works like any other microwave, of course. This is the range hood I told you about. If you're going to run the fan, make sure you open that baffle on the outside. You got light there, of course. You should always have this closed when you're traveling. I'm talking about the glass cover, because it tends to break if you leave it open. If you keep it shut, it will never break. So, okay, so this is the sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark. I'm not sure if he's got the gas turned on right now, so I don't know if it'll light or not. Either way, I'll talk you through it. You have 3 knobs and 3 burners, of course. Yeah, he's got it shut off. So when I turn this clockwise, it'll light the burners, right? When it comes to the oven, all the way at the back down there is a pilot light. I don't know if you can see it or not, but to light it, you're just going to basically go to the picture of the flame. You depress this and keep it depressed. You light the pilot light. After it lights, you hold it for another 10 seconds like this, and then go to operating temperature. But when you shut it off, the pilot light's going to go off also. So you really have to light the pilot light each time you use the oven. Alrighty. So let's see what else we have here. This is this panel here with the 4 screws holding it in. All the screws in this trailer are number 2 square-headed screws. So if you don't have that bit, make sure you get it for your drill. But that's where you would winterize the trailer from. You can see there's the antifreeze inlet under there, just so you know. Okay, let me look around here, see what I'm missing. Okay, over here, this device here is the power converter. Right, so what this does, it converts AC power to DC power. So, when you're plugged in, these are regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home, 120 AC, and they're all labeled, right? So this is actually a distribution panel just like you'd have in your basement or wherever. And then this 120 AC is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, right? So you got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. Also, this is a battery tender, so it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front has and needs, and it'll always send up enough energy to keep it charged. Now, if you ever have an issue like a power surge or something in the 12 volt side of this goes out, always check these 240s here, because those are 9 times out of 10 that's going to be the issue, and it's just doing what it's supposed to do, protecting the whole side. So keep that in mind. Instead of looking everywhere, start by looking here. Okay? Alrighty. So this obviously folds back into a couch type situation. You have to follow direction on these about last bunk down, first bunk up, vice versa. So keep that in mind. Okay, but it does have plenty of space in the bunk room. Nice sized pantry. Okay, so you can always drop this table, set it on the cleats and use it as a bed. This particular sofa jackknifes flat, so you can turn that into a bed if you need to. Let me look around for a second. There's going to be a carbon monoxide LP gas detector here somewhere that I must have walked right past. Let me see. Okay, it's right here. So that's your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. And you also have a smoke detector up here. Okay. Alright. So the bathroom works like, the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The toilet is an RV toilet, so you have a flush pedal over here, and you're going to, below is the black tank, which is directly below, right? So you have to start off, once you get to the campsite, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here, you'll put a dose of chemical in the bowl, and then you'll stand on the pedal and let about a gallon or so of water go along with the chemical into the black tank below. Some people use more than a gallon, it's up to you. But the main thing is you can't use it dry. You have to have water and chemical in there, otherwise the smell will be overwhelming, and it'll also can potentially clog it up. So you always want to have chemical and water in there. That's very important. It's one of those things, if you don't do it, you'll only not do it once. So okay, so there's storage underneath the bed. TV hookups here. You got a backing plate here, another closet here, your emergency window here that goes like this. You just push this through, all the way through. Then you grab hold of the red tab and pull the screen out, and then you can just exit out that window in emergency. Okay. Okay, so I think we pretty much got it here. Let me look around. See if I forgot anything. Looks like I've got it all. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. It's important to inspect your roof. Most people don't seem to do it as much as they should, so keep after that. And right now this trailer is summerized. It's in camping mode. So all the antifreeze has been purged from the system. The water heater tank is filled with water and it's ready to go. Okay? Thank you.